Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. The wealth derived from singing God's name is the influence of the higher energies in nature on one's life. Bhajans must spread goodwill, love and ecstasy. It must clean the polluted atmosphere. It must indeed invite all to share in the joy and peace of God's consciousness. It is a great delight to team up with Sri Devendra Puran in this album of bhajans. We dedicate all these beautiful songs to the President and people of Guyana. We pray for peace, prosperity and harmony for all. Jai Shri Ram. Where is God? How often do we hear this question? The answer we find in this song is, tell me where he is not. Kahan nahi Ram hai. He is in the bud of the flower, the rays of the sun. He is on the earth, in the skies, in the musical instruments. Indeed, he is everywhere. Not only is he omnipresent, but also his power is seen everywhere. He puts a halt to the hurricanes and reduces huge mountains to dust particles. Rocks become colorful flowers, and liberation is his gift to the soul. In a split second, his grace brings all success. कलियों में राम मेरा, किरणों में राम है।
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 धरती गगन में मेरे प्रभु जी का धाम है।
कहाँ नहीं राम है। कलियों में राम मेरा, किरणों में राम है। धरती गगन में मेरे प्रभु जी का नाम है। कहाँ नहीं राम है।
प्रभु तू ही धूप छाया, प्रभु तू ही चांदनी।
प्रभु तू ही धूप छाया, प्रभु तू ही चांदनी।
लहरों के बीना में है प्रभु जी की रागनी।
लहरों के बीना में है प्रभु जी की रागनी।
कहाँ नहीं लिखा मेरे रघुवर का नाम है।
कहाँ नहीं लिखा मेरे रघुवर का नाम है।
धरती गगन में मेरे प्रभु जी का धाम है।
कहाँ नहीं राम है। कलियों में राम मेरा, किरणों में राम है। धरती गगन में मेरे प्रभु जी का नाम है। कहाँ नहीं राम है।
वही फूल फूल में है, वही पात पात में।
वही फूल फूल में है, वही पात पात में।
रहता है राम मेरा, सब ही की साथ है।
रहता है राम मेरा, सब ही के साथ है।
मेरा रोम रोम जिसको करता प्रणाम है।
मेरा रोम रोम जिसको करता प्रणाम है।
धरती गगन में मेरे प्रभु जी का धाम है।
कहाँ नहीं राम है। कलियों में राम मेरा,
चाहे तू एक घड़ी में चाल पवन की रुक जाए,
चाल पवन की रुक जाए।
वो चाहे तू पल भर में तू ऊंचा पर्वत झुक जाए,
ऊंचा पर्वत झुक जाए।
उसकी दया से पत्थर में भी फूल रंगीला खिल जाए। वो चाहे तू पत फूले को राह मुक्ति के मिल जाए। उसकी दया से पल का सब ही का काम है,
उसकी दया से पल का सब ही का काम है।
धरती गगन में मेरे प्रभु जी का धाम है।
कहाँ नहीं राम है,
कलियों में राम मेरा, किरणों में राम है। धरती गगन में मेरे प्रभु जी का धाम है। कहाँ नहीं राम है, कलियों में राम मेरा, किरणों में राम है। धरती गगन में मेरे प्रभु जी का धाम है। कहाँ नहीं राम है, कहाँ नहीं राम है, कहाँ नहीं राम है। The Srimad Bhagavatam is replete with sweet and interesting stories of Krishna's life as a little child. Everyone delights in listening to the description he gets as a Makhan Chor, the butter thief. In this song, the Lord defends himself, saying, "Main nahi makhan khayo." If at all he stole butter, he left traces so that he can easily be caught. Is this a deliberate act to bring the devotees to find the Lord?
मैया मोरी हो मैं नहीं माखन खायो, मैया मोरी हो मैं नहीं माखन खायो। कहत सुनत में आकर काहे झूठा दोष लगायो री मैया मोरी मैं नहीं माखन खायो, मैया मोरी हो मैं नहीं माखन खायो। यमुना के तट पर बाल बाल संग चार पहर में छोरा हो गैया चरावत बंसी बजावत भाई सांझ की देरा। भूख लगी तो दौरत दौरत सीधा मैं घर आयो री मैया मोरी मैं नहीं माखन खायो, मैया मोरी हो मैं नहीं माखन खायो। कोई मैंने मत की भोरी मुझको झूठा तूने मैया मोरी। अपने अंग को कैसे समझा तूने आज परायोरी मैया मोरी। मैं नहीं माखन खायो मैया मोरी हो। मैं नहीं माखन खायो। बाबा नंद कलाला काहे शोर कहाओ हो। अपने घर में कौन कमी जो बाहर माखन खाओ। बात सुनी तो मात यशोदा हंस कर कंत लगायो। फिर बोली तू नहीं माखन खायो। गोविंदा मोरे तू नहीं माखन खायो। रे कृष्णा मोरे तू नहीं माखन खायो।
मेरे प्रभु तू मुझको बता, तेरे सिवा मैं क्या करूं? Tell me, Lord, without you, what can I do? Should I leave your shelter, then where to do I go? Being aware of your powers, I am riddled with difficulties to worship you. The moon gives off your light, and your stars illumine the world. Can my little diya make a difference? You reside in every bud, and each flower reflects your beauty. Please dwell in my heart and convert it to the best of the mandirs. Nature sings your glory. The birds, insects, and animals contribute to the divine sounds of the atmosphere. Can my kirtan really make a difference? मेरे प्रभु तू मुझको बता, तेरे सिवा मैं क्या करूं?
मेरे प्रभु तू मुझको बता, तेरे सिवा मैं क्या करूं?
मेरे प्रभु तू मुझको बता, तेरे सिवा मैं क्या करूं?
मेरे प्रभु तू मुझको बता, तेरे सिवा मैं क्या करूं?
तेरी शरण को छोड़ कर जग की शरण को क्या करूं?
तेरी शरण को छोड़ कर जग की शरण को क्या करूं?
प्रभु तू मुझको बता, तेरे सिवा मैं क्या करूं। चंद्रमा बन के आप ही तारों में जगमगा रहे।
चंद्रमा बनके आप ही तारों में जगमगा रहे।
तेरी चमक के सामने दीपक जला के क्या करूं।
तेरी चमक के सामने दीपक जला के क्या करूं।
मेरे प्रभु तू मुझको बता, तेरे सिवा मैं क्या करूं।
मेरे प्रभु तू मुझको बता, तेरे सिवा मैं क्या करूं।
कलियों में बस रहे हो तुम, फूलों में हंस रहे हो तुम।
कलियों में बस रहे हो तुम, फूलों में हंस रहे हो तुम।
मेरे तो मन में वो बसे, मंदिर में जाके क्या करूं।
मेरे तो मन में वो बसे, मंदिर में जाके क्या करूं।
मेरे प्रभु तू मुझको बता, तेरे सिवा मैं क्या करूं।
मेरे प्रभु तू मुझको बता, तेरे सिवा मैं क्या करूं।
बन के भ्रमर में आप ही फूलों में गुनगुना रहे।
बनके भ्रमर में आप ही फूलों में गुनगुना रहे।
सुंदर संगीत के सामने कीर्तन सुना के क्या करूं।
सुंदर संगीत के सामने कीर्तन सुना के क्या करूं।
मेरे प्रभु तू मुझको बता, तेरे सिवा मैं क्या करूं।
मेरे प्रभु तू मुझको बता, तेरे सिवा मैं क्या करूं।
बादल में बन के इंद्रधनु खुद ही जगत सजा रहे।
बादल में बन के इंद्रधनु खुद ही जगत सजा रहे।
चंदन अबीर पर चढ़ा के क्या करूं।
चंदन अबीर होलिका तुझ पर चढ़ा के क्या करूं।
मेरे प्रभु तू मुझको बता, तेरे सिवा मैं क्या करूं।
मेरे प्रभु तू मुझको बता, तेरे सिवा मैं क्या करूं। मेरे प्रभु तू मुझको बता, तेरे सिवा मैं क्या करूं। तेरे सिवा मैं क्या करूं। तेरे सिवा मैं क्या करूं।
The world presents two unique pictures, one of sadness and the other of happiness. Our actions, thoughts and behavior bind us to either the path of flowers or to that of thorns. Be cautious. For the best results, be simple, be a sample, and be an example.
सुख और दुख इस दुनिया में तकदीर में बातें हैं। एक दामन में फूल भरे हैं, एक में कांटे हैं। हो एक में कांटे हैं। जो पापी का नाश करे हो अपराधी कहलाए, लेकिन ये तकदीर का लिखा कोई बदल ना पाए। जबकि खुद इंसाफ का मालिक देख के चुप रह जाए। हो सुख और दुख इस दुनिया में तकदीर में बातें हैं। एक दामन में फूल भरे हैं, एक में कांटे हैं। रोना इसका देख रहा है, तुम इंसाफ के वाली। अपने लहू से की थी इसमें बगिया की रखवाली। आग लगा दी इस दुनिया ने, जल गई सब हरियाली। हो सुख और दुख इस दुनिया में तकदीर में बातें हैं। एक दामन में फूल भरे हैं, एक में कांटे हैं। हो एक में कांटे हैं।
Can we pray for each other? Of course we can. Our scriptures provide many examples of such intercessive prayers. Nahi chahiye rang mahal na dhan daulat. I do not pray to possess a palace and wealth in abundance, O Lord. I desire the treasure of contentment for myself, and for each home happiness and peace at all times. You have given in excess of our expectation, O Lord. Forever we are indebted to you. So compassionately you transform all unpleasantness to joy and happiness.
नहीं चाहिए रंग महल ना धन दौलत की शान, हम तो मांगे तुझसे मालिक एक संतोष का दान, कि घर घर में खुशहाली हो, सदा सुख की हरियाली हो। नहीं चाहिए रंग महल ना धन दौलत की शान, हम तो मांगे तुझसे मालिक एक संतोष का दान। हमको जन्म दिया है तू ही पालनहार, तेरी दया से फूले फले हम सबका घर संसार।
तूने हमको जन्म दिया है तू ही पालनहार, तेरी दया से फूले फले हम सबका घर संसार।
नहीं चाहिए हीरे मोती, नहीं चाहिए हीरे मोती ना रत्नों की खान, हम तो मांगे तुझसे मालिक एक संतोष का दान। सुख के बदले दुख देने की अगर भावना तेरी, दुख को सहने की शक्ति दे यही प्रार्थना मेरी।
सुख की
ॐ प्रातस्मरामि हृदि संस्फुरदात्मतत्त्वम् सच्चित्सुखं परमहंसगतिं तुरीयम् यत्स्वप्नजागरत् सुषुप्तिमवेति नित्यम् तद्ब्रह्म निष्कलमहं न च भूतसङ्घः हरिः ओं श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओं Namaskar. Assalamu alaikum, Sitaram. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world, my dear brothers and sisters. This is your friend and brother Acharya Arun Gossai coming to you live from New York City, once again on another segment of Avenues to Peace, a program where we analyze the various means, the various formulas, and the various methodologies for achieving the everlasting bliss that we're looking for in the world. A special thank you to my brother Roshanji and the entire team at Abee Chunes Radio for making today's program possible. Live on abeechunes.com, live on Bhuvaneshwar Mandir Facebook Live, and of course, Abee Chunes Radio Facebook Live as well. My dear brothers and sisters, a special Suswagatam to all of you, and here's hoping that your stay with us today will be a stay of inspiration, a stay of transformation, and a stay of motivation. Many people ask the question, can I be motivated? And the answer is yes, you can be. And how do you get motivated? By listening to some sort of good message. Vedo nityam adhiyatam, says Adi Shankaracharya. By reading the scriptures daily, by listening to a good pravachan on a constant basis. What happens is something begins to happen within the mind. Where it was once attached to all of the glitz and glamour of the world, it begins to go introvert. Introvert is not a bad thing. Introvert means when you're not dependent on the external stimuli for happiness, but you begin to find that peace within yourself. The other day I spoke about the dangers of net worth. Many people say my net worth is so and so. But in actuality, in the world that we live in, easy come, easy go. Things come, things go. And if you base your net worth, my dear brothers and sisters, on external objects, when those objects leave, then what are you? So Adi Shankaracharya, part of Bhaja Govindam, part of the text that we are looking at today by none other than Adi Shankara, who is none other than Lord Shiva himself, who has come to the world to actually remove delusion from us so that we can be one with Shiva, right? Atyantika dukkha nivritti paramananda prapti. Ceasing once and for all that part of us that gets blazed by sorrows in this world, by changing objects. And that part of us is the ego. Destroying and annihilating that part of us that either gets too happy or too sad when things go right or wrong. Delusion means when my mind is constantly fixed on the world and I become affected by that world. So in our lives, my dear brothers and sisters, it is very, very important to note that Bhagavan Shankara, being Karuna Sagar, is not only the supreme consciousness, he's not only the supreme peace that we're all looking for, but he is none other than the sage Adi Shankara, who has come and walked the length and breadth of India so many times, spreading the knowledge about Dvaita Vedanta. And it is simply the knowledge that will take us back to our true self. There are so many aparavidyas. Aparavidya means worldly knowledge that you can learn. Zoology, botany, chemistry, sangeet. All of these things are good for your enjoyment and sustenance in the world. But paravidya is the highest knowledge, which means self-knowledge. Knowing deep down who you are, in essence, is Shiva himself. And when you can be steeped in that ocean of bliss within, there's no more pain for such an individual. There's no more restlessness. Because restlessness, pain, hurt, because of the changing objects of the world, is simply in our minds. So to the one who has transcended the mind, my dear brothers and sisters, to the one who finally sees reality, such a person becomes one with Bhagavan Shankar. Let's continue our look at Bhaja Govindam. We'll just review the verse we did before, verse number 20, and then we'll go to 21. Bhagavad Gita kinchit adhita Ganga Jalalava Karanika Pita Sakritapiyena murari samarcha kriyate tasya yamena na charcha bhaja govindam govindam bhaja muramate. Govindam bhaja muramate. Do not waste any time in your pursuit of true happiness. Wasting time means getting involved in the various menial things of this world and forgetting that the goal of this human life is simply to find and discover yourself. In the midst of the rigmarole of life, my dear brothers and sisters, in the midst of the rat race of life, ask yourself the question, am I making enough time to know myself? This is a very important question that we have to ask, because if we don't ask ourselves this question, life will pass us, and we'll think that going to work, earning, procreating, eating, sleeping are the only things that we are supposed to be doing in this human birth. I'm not saying these things are bad. These things are necessary. But the human being, my dear brothers and sisters, was created for so much more. The human being is the only creature on earth and known creature in the universe that can understand why it was born. And why were we born, my dear brothers and sisters? We were born to be one with the Lord. Many people say we're going to be one with God after death. Now, we don't know what happens after death. No one has ever come back to tell us what has happened. All we know is that the here and now permits us to read the Shastras. That is why Bhagavad Gita Kinchita Dita. It permits us, our intellect, which is the gift given by God, so we can get back to the Lord. The intellect is the life raft, my dear brothers and sisters, but you have to choose to go on this raft. You see, many of us are stuck in the ocean of sorrow. We're in the ocean of Bhavasagar. We're in the ocean of distress on a constant basis, my dear brothers and sisters. You have to choose to jump on the raft of the intellect and don't get lost in the manas, the ocean of the mind, the sagar. So in our lives, my dear brothers and sisters, it all comes down to choice. What will you choose to do? Will you choose to just live a mundane life? Will you choose to just once again, as we'll see in the next verse, leave it all behind and come back again and start all over again? Or will you finally escape, my dear brothers and sisters, the wheel of birth and death? How do you do that? The one who has studied Bhagavad Gita, Kinchit Adhita, Adi Shankaracharya, Shiva himself says, don't waste time. Oh Mura, oh fool. Adi Shankaracharya can get hostile when he wants to, especially, my dear brothers and sisters, when he sees his devotees wasting time. The other day, Guruji was here from India, and I was in the backyard, and I have a basketball hoop in the back. So he asked me, what was that? I said, it's basketball, Guruji. And I said, have you ever played? Sarcastically, because me and Guruji have this relationship. Of course, Guru-Shishya relationship is that of respect. But there's some times where you can gauge when Guru's in a good mood to joke with him a little bit. So I said, Guruji, have you ever played? No. And you know what he said? He said, no, I don't play. I pray. I said, why, Guruji? He said, because time is of the essence. Death can come at any time. So why waste any time behind anything else but prayer? That was his answer. And he's a saint, my dear brothers and sisters. This is the saint mentality. They know what the goal is of this human life, and they do not want to come back here in this world. They want to elevate their mind in such a way through prayer, as we saw last time. What does it mean to pray? It means Sukradapi yena murari samarcha. Murari samarcha, samyak archa samarcha. Worshipping the Lord perfectly. What does that mean? Being one with Bhagavan. There's no higher devotion than being one with the beloved. Isn't that true? There's no higher love than being one, unified. When two people get married, two souls are unified. When you're praying to the Lord, you have to merge that mind in the ocean of consciousness. Manas, merge the lake in the ocean, my dear brothers and sisters, the sagar of God. And when this happens, the Bhagavad Gita, sipping of the Ganga Jala, Jala Lava Karanika Pita. Drinking just a little bit of Ganga Jal, worshipping Murari will lead to oneness with him. To such a person, they have reached the goal of the human life. Okay? So saints don't waste time. And all of you, when Guruji was here also, he said that all of the people that he was talking to, and all of us, he's saying that all of us are saints, but we've forgotten. Who is a saint? Someone who is bereft, someone who does not have Kam, Krodh, Lobha, Moha, Mad, Matsarya, someone who doesn't have selfishness, anger, greed, attachment, false pride, and jealousy. Someone who doesn't have these 6 enemies is deemed a saint. So why can't you be the saint, my dear brothers and sisters? All of us should be a saint, as a matter of fact. It doesn't matter what clothes you wear, orange, yellow, white, black, purple, whatever color clothes you wear, however you are, it is not the external garb that matters. It is how much transformation you've made within yourself. Next verse, my dear brothers and sisters. Verse number 21 of Bhajan. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jhathare shayanam, eha samsare bahadustare, kripa kripaya pare pahi murare, bhaj govindam, govindam, bhaj muramate. The beautiful Lord says, my dear brothers and sisters, let's break up the words. Punaha api, punarapi means once again. Jananam, birth. Punaha api, once again. Maranam, death. Puranapi, again and again. Janani jathare, in the mother's womb. Shayanam, we lie there. Iha, here. Samsare, in the samsar. Bahudustare, samsar, which is very hard to cross. Apare, which has no end. Kripaya, through the infinite kindness. Pahi, save me. Murari, destroyer of Mura, which is none other than Krishna. Bhaja Govindam. So he's saying now, Lord Shiva, Adi Shankaracharya is saying, Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam. Again you have been born, and again we shall die. Again we laid in mother's womb, and again after this life we'll lay in mother's womb again. This samsar, or this ocean of transmigration, this process is very hard to cross over. Save me, O Krishna, through thy infinite kindness. So this verse, my dear brothers and sisters, is a prayer / a dose of reality. So Adi Shankaracharya is teaching us how to pray and what to pray for. He's saying, again and again we've come in this world, and again we will leave. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. If you think that this is the only life you've had, think again. If you dream, let's say you go to sleep and you dream people, has that ever happened to you? When you dream somebody that you've never met in this life, you've never met them, or you dream a situation that you've never encountered. When these sort of things happen, understand that in the sleep world, the dream world, your subtle mind, or I would say, the mind that is beyond the waking mind, when that mind is opened a little bit during sleep, all of the past life memories leak out. And that's what causes dreams that we can't fathom where we encountered what we dreamt, because we never did. It's not that you encountered it in this life, it's that you encountered it in a last life. So your soul is the seat of all of these memories. And when the soul leaves the body, my dear brothers and sisters, it once again takes another birth. Sometimes immediately, sometimes it goes to heaven first, sometimes it has to go through purification before it can be born again. But whatever the case may be, the soul, my dear friends, the mind and intellect primarily, it packages itself up and it leaves. And Bhagavan Krishna is the one who dispatches the souls. So Krishna is being acknowledged by Lord Shiva here. And Shiva loves Lord Krishna. Bhagavan Shankar loves Lord Vishnu. That is why he incarnated as Hanumanji to help Rama in his mission. Again, birth happens, again, death happens, again, we lay in mother's womb. This process called samsar is very hard to cross over. Why? Why is it so hard to get out of this wheel of birth and death? Because without reading the scriptures, going back to what Adi Shankara said in the last verse that we just covered, without reading Bhagavad Gita just a little bit, without sipping some Ganga Jal just a little bit to purify the body and mind, without praying and being one with Krishna, your mind is going to become attached to the world. And when your mind is attached to the seemingly external world, whatever you think about a death, according to Bhagavad Gita, you see, here's where Gita comes into play. Antakale chamameva smaran mukva kalevara. If you remember Krishna or remember divinity at death, if you are already one with the Lord, you don't have to be born again. You will attain what is called Krishna Loka, Shiva Loka, Rama Loka, Saket. You will attain Golok, you will attain Vaikunt, you will attain Shiva Loka. So whatever you call heaven, once you have been firmly established in God, if you don't reach heaven as a second place prize, you're going to reach realization, which is even better than heaven. You never come back. Your soul is dissolved. The individual soul is like a droplet, and it becomes dissolved in the ocean of God once again. Isn't that beautiful? So Adi Shankaracharya is saying that if you don't remember Krishna or Jesus or Allah or Rama or Shiva or Jagadambe Durga or Shankara, if you don't remember Shiva at the time of death or Krishna, you will have to focus your mind somewhere else. And you'll remember something else. And that thing that you remember, the last thought, it is said in Bhagavad Gita, is where your soul ends up in the next life. So, for example, you may say, Acharya ji, I'm too busy. But at death, I'm going to remember Krishna. But I want to tell you today, my dear brothers and sisters, that if you don't remember Krishna while alive, you think that when this prana is leaving this body, jab prana tan se nikle, and when the soul leaves, the mind goes on autopilot, you don't have any control. So whatever you were used to thinking about at the times of health and strength, normal life, that is what you're going to think about at death. And whatever you think about, that is where you'll end up. So in this way, this samsara is very hard to cross over. Save me, O Krishna. Allow me to attend the satsangs. Allow me to learn from a bona fide guru. Allow me to learn the scriptures properly. Allow me to go into the realms of oneness with Bhagavan, where I'm not dependent on the world for happiness. Therefore, my mind doesn't clamor for anything, but I'm content with who I am. I found all the happiness within me. Why should I go into the world looking for happiness? If happy situations come, it's fine. If they go, it's okay. Because I have the Lord within me, I will always be at peace and rest. Don't wait to rest in peace. Live in peace. More about how to escape this wheel of birth and death, we will see next time. My dear brothers and sisters, this brings us to the end of our program today, Avenues to Peace. Thank you for joining us once again. Tonight at Bhuvaneshwar Mandir, we have our Shiv Puran reading and Linga Abhishekam. So please come to Bhuvaneshwar. You'll be involved in that. We start promptly at 6 o'clock and we end at 7:30. So please come tonight to enjoy the glories of Lord Shiva. It is Shravan Maas, a month dedicated to Lord Shiva. But this practice that we're doing every Monday will be ongoing. So God bless all of you. We've done the Shiv Puran. We're starting with book number 1, the Shiva Mahatmya, Shiv Puran Mahatmya, and we've just started. So last week we began the first 2 shlokas only. So if you have your Shiv Puran at home and you want to come to Bhuvaneshwar and learn with us, we're going to continue our look cover to cover Shiv Puran. That is the goal. That is the idea. Taking the Shiv Puran from cover to cover. And we started with the first 2 shlokas. We're going to start shloka 3 today and go on the greatness of the Shiv Puran. Shiv Puran, Shiva Mahapuran Mahatmya. So all of you are invited for Lingam Puja and Shiv Puran Mahatmya reading tonight. God bless all of you. We'll see you tonight at Bhuvaneshwar, 8606 One Avenue at 6 p.m. to 7:30. We hope to see you there. And for more information about all that we do at the Mandir is open 5 days a week. Please visit the website bmny.org. I think Roshanji will type in the website so you can see bmny.org, so you can see all that we do in hopes that you can transform as well. God bless all of you. Om Namah Shivaya.
श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मन मुखर सुधार बरणो रघुबर विमल यशो जो दायक
बुद्धहीन तन जानिके सुमिरो पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेश विकार।
जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमट निवार सुमति के संगी कंचन वरन विराज सुवेशा कानन कुंडल कुंचित केशा हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा विराजे कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साजे शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन विद्यावान गुणीयति चातुर राम काज करिबे को आतुर प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बसिया रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे रामचंद्र के काज सवारे।
जय सिया राम जय जय सिया राम जय सिया राम जय जय।
लाए सजीवन लखन जियाए श्री रघुवीर हर्ष उर लाए रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई तुम मम प्रिय भरत सम भाई सहस वदन तुम्हरो यश गावे अस कही श्रीपति कंठ लगावे सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीषा नारद शारद सहित यहीशा।
जय सिया राम जय जय सिया राम जय सिया राम जय। जय सिया राम जय जय सिया राम जय सिया राम जय जय सिया राम।
अजरज नाही दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते सुगमय अनुग्रह तुम्हारे तेते राम द्वारे तुम रखवारे होत न क्या बिन पैसारे सब सुख लहै तुम्हारी शरणा तुम रक्षक
जय सिया राम जय जय सिया राम जय सिया राम जय जय सिया राम।
तीनों लोक हाँकते कांपे भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे महावीर जब नाम सुनावे नासै रोग हरहि सब पीरा जपत निरंतर हनुमत वीरा संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे।
जय सिया राम जय जय सिया राम जय सिया राम जय जय सिया राम।
सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा जिनके काज सकल तुम साजा और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे चारों युग परताप तुम्हारा है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा साधु संत के तुम रखवारे असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे।
जय सिया राम जय जय सिया राम जय सिया राम जय जय सिया राम।
अष्ट सिद्धि नौ निधि के दाता असवर दीन जानकी माता राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा तुम्हारे भजन राम को भावे जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे।
जय सिया राम जय जय सिया राम जय सिया राम जय जय सिया राम।
वीरा जितना धरई, अनुमत से सर्व सुख करई। संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा, जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलबीरा। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करो गुरुदेव की नाई। जो शत बार पाठ कर कोई, छूटई बंदी महासुख होई। जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा, होई सिद्धि साखी गौरीसा। तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा, कीजे नाथ हृदय महबेरा। कीजे नाथ हृदय
पवन तनय संकट हरन, मंगल मूरत विरूप। राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय बसु सुरभूप। सियापति रामचंद्र की, पवन सुत हनुमान की।